again. Give me a minute.
Well, it's just the three things, right? You talked about, um, you know what? Let's just pick it up from the whole science section. Let's just do the whole
Just
science section.
start over the science section. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm gonna have to splice this shit together eventually. Skylar, jump in whenever you want. I mean, it's casual talking.
Cool, 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 cool. Cool.
So that's it for the music. Ah, bitchin' music, gotta say.
Bitchinest.
The bitchinest. So now we're moving on to Grant in the corner there, nice and quiet. There he is. His mic is still muted.
Hello, everybody.
Whoa, whoa! You hear that mic quality
Oh
just
my god.
explosion? Wow, wow. All right,
I'm,
things are
I'm
going
glad
right.
the microphone was a good investment in your mind, Mauer.
Like
uh,
Apocalypse came and just upgraded your microphone like you did as Horseman.
No more shitty sound quality. No more cutting in and out. I don't have a final one to scream about that could top those two. In all honesty.
That's okay.
Well,
We just move on to science now instead of you making nerdy references.
it's to this specific film. All right. Topic one: Magneto does some crazy ass shit with the magnetic poles or whatever the hell he's doing in that climactic finale, in which he's causing the Earth to implode on itself.
Not really. So he could be doing like one of two things, and I guess either of them are fairly likely scenarios. It's kind of hard to tell from rewatching that scene. But he's either just channeling the Earth's magnetic field, or he's just increasing its strength. So, and that's causing all of the metal and anything that's remotely paramagnetic to align itself with Earth's magnetic field lines and sort of um, flow either to the north or south pole, depending on the magnetic properties of it. So that's what I think is sort of happening there. This would be bad if it happened in real life.
Yes. Why?
Yeah. Well, for one thing, if the Earth's magnetic field were increased to be like as strong as Jupiter's or so, all of the water on Earth would just levitate and kind of float away because water is paramagnetic um, at really strong magnetic fields.
Oh, all right. I
And
mean, paramagnetic. That sounds like it's really susceptible to magnetism.
I mean, a lot of things are paramagnetic if you suscept them to enough of a strong magnet. So,
You know what that sounds like? Well, everything can blowing up if you find a big enough
well,
bomb.
okay, so not everything is paramagnetic, but water's special. Water's really cool, guys. Do research on water. Water's why we are alive.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, we're what, 70% water, and if all of it would just levitate out of the here,
Well,
would
it wouldn't leave us because the water in our bodies is kind of confined in cells, and unless they lysed, we would be okay. But we would have problems if the Earth's magnetic field were super strong anyway, because our brains are basically wires, and so if you induced a strong magnetic field around them, then you start generating currents where you don't want them, and then so basically our brains would stop working. And the brains of literally everything else would stop working.
even
So,
trees?
well, trees don't have a nervous system, so I think they would be okay.
Did we lose him again?
That's what it looks like. God damn it, Maurer.
Hmm.
God damn it.
See, as soon as we start talking about magnetism, it's like his internet cuts out.
His internet is just not a huge fan of magnets.
Magnets, how do they work?
They work because of Hund's rule, because unpaired electrons align with the same spin. And
He's back, yay.
Ah! All right.
at least we
Minor.
were still live, so we got all that. You get to edit out me and Skylar saying that your internet sucks.
It's only when I'm doing this, because I'm hosting so many fucking connections, it just like shits itself. It can't fucking handle it. Because it's just like, how far away are you two? Holy fuck. It's the exact sound it makes.
Yeah, we were talking about how magnets work.
Yes. So yes, we go brain dead. But so really, he's just having fun, right? He's just lifting shit at his willy-nilly.
He's really not having to do a whole lot other than concentrate all of his power into doing one thing, which is just messing with the Earth's magnetic field, which is already there, so he doesn't have to like make it. It's just what he's just making it stronger, basically.
All right. And it's weaker when you're next to him, because Quicksilver and Mystique literally just like line up next to the guy, and they're like, "You're not wearing any metal. There's no metal in your body. That's he's doing some really strong magnetic stuff right now."
Yeah, I mean, well, you can't have a perfect science scene in this type of movie, so.
All right.
All right. Moving on. Quicksilver jamming out, listening to some tunes during his cool scene. So I actually found a video on YouTube about this. They talk about the scene from Days of Future Past, but same general principle in this scene, at least.
Of how does the question being, how does Quicksilver listen to music when he's running at super speed? We're just assuming his perception of life is not always super duper fast, right? Because otherwise he's just walking in slow motion everywhere. And
I think the assumption is just that as he speeds up, his ability to perceive things also speeds up. So the faster he's well, no, his processing ability speeds up. So things appear to be slower, but he's processing them faster. His brain's working on overdrive. So I think that's just the assumption there. The two things that could be issues for him trying to listen to music while he's running that fast are the Doppler effect. So sound waves can compress or dilate depending on if you're moving towards or away from them. But there doesn't seem to be that issue here just because the air that has the sound waves is kind of trapped in the whole system of his body between his eardrums and the headphones, so don't have to worry about those relativistic effects, which is good because that would make things more complicated to try and work out how he does that.
I was just getting complicated understanding that. Cause what? Oh, so there's no air in between his ear and the sound?
No, there is air, but it's moving at the same speed he is, so he doesn't have to worry about the sound waves compressing. It's like, shoot, I forgot the guy's name, but the guy who went up in a capsule and jumped and did a free fall from space for Red Bull.
Something.
Yeah.
Felix. I forget his last name, like Ugendarg.
I think it'd begin with a B. Felix B. Either way, he broke the speed of sound while he was falling, but he could still hear himself talk because the air within his helmet was moving at the same speed he was.
Oh, okay.
So that's sort of the same thing that's happening here with the air in Quicksilver's ears. Okay, so then the other issue is, and they actually worked through the math in this video that I watched, but he is moving. The scene in Days of Future Past takes approximately 110 seconds, so almost 2 minutes, and the people in this video determined he had about 0.05 seconds to save Magneto and Professor X, so he had to perceive 110 seconds of music in 0.05 seconds, which means his player would have to run about 1,800 times normal speed.
There we go. I was like, how fucking fast is that music playing?
So, and then that just goes back to him being super powerful and being able to process that information that fast. Normal players like that would definitely explode if they were running at 1800 times. But I read somewhere that apparently his music player is actually like a government issued prototype that he stole from like the Pentagon. So
What?
yeah, like in the comics, that's canon. It's
Oh
something
my
that was
god.
being made by the government that he stole so he could listen to music while he ran super fast. So
That is some contrived BS, but I'll
I
take
know.
it.
At
I'll
least
take
they
it.
give some explanation, and they're not just like, "Oh yeah, he's got a super powerful CD player on him or 8-track or whatever."
He's well. I mean, I really don't need an explanation. The dude already runs so freaking fast. I can't understand it. Uh, like when he starts punch. Okay, I was so scared in X-Men Apocalypse when Quicksilver started punching Apocalypse around like a rag doll. I was like, is this it? Is this how they're gonna take him down? This is some weak bullshit. They better cut this off right now. And so Apocalypse was like, and got your foot.
Well, well, yeah, that would have been kind of some BS had Quicksilver beat Apocalypse by himself. That's just would have ruined the whole movie for me, I think. All right, so the last one, the biggie, the one I'm most excited to talk about, telepathy, because that's always fun. So
Telepathy? That doesn't exist.
not in the sense that somebody can like transmit their voice into your head, but there are this couple. They're both scientists, and they both work at the same place, Doctors Stocco and Pratt, and they do research on brain-to-brain interfacing with humans. So,
Ooh.
and they were panelists at the World Science Festival this past year, like a month and a half ago.
Where is the
And
World Science Festival? Just a quick side note question.
it's in New York City. It's
Ah,
hosted by the physicist, Dr. Green, the one who writes books all the time. I think
Hank
Dr.
Green?
No.
I don't know. But we should go to that sometime. Anyway, can carry on about Stoko and
Stocco
Pratt?
and Pratt, yep.
Uh-huh.
They're a married couple who do brain-to-brain interface research. But anyway, they were panelists at the World Science Festival, and they were talking about one of their more recent experiments. And they had a video of it, and they were able to have one subject in a room at one end of their campus, and he was hooked up to their interface, and all he saw in front of him was a screen that had like a video game type thing going on, where just a plane would fly across the top of the screen. And then, like a mile away in another room, had another subject hooked up to an interface, and he had no screen in front of him, just had a mouse with the ability to click a button. And so the goal was to have the person viewing the screen think, okay, shoot a missile to hit this plane, and by thinking it, the person a mile away would then hit the button and cause a missile to shoot and hit the plane.
Whoa! I thought they were just gonna go straight up with like, all right, you have three options. Is it airplane, bird, or cloud? And like they're like, okay, if that happens a third of the time, we have to get like above 70% of correct clicks for this to even think it's a good experiment. You're saying they literally just like clicked
They
where the plane was?
they they were basically playing a very simple video game with two people separated by about a mile, and they were just one person was the controller and the other person was the eyes, and they just played this video game. Um, so that's cool. It was successful, but let's talk a little bit about the science behind it and their setup. So
Yeah.
they also, so like I said in the Magneto section, our brains are basically wires and they're influenced by magnetic fields. So they also use magnets because magnets are cool. Um, the person hooked up to the one who's watching the screen was hooked up to sort of an EEG type setup,
Mm-hmm.
which just monitors brainwaves and electrical functions.
Yep.
And they figured out what area of the brain was responding to the thought of, okay, click the button to shoot the missile. And they recorded that signal. And then they sent that signal to the second person who had a couple huge magnets, like the type you might find in an MRI, directed at that part of the brain, and it was inducing a signal within the other person's brain telling him to click. And so it's not really a... And the person who has the induced signal hitting him has no real control over what's happening, because it's not like a suggestion. It's not like a little voice saying, hey, click the button, click the button. They're inducing his brain to make him click the button.
That's mind control.
A little bit, yeah. But, I mean, he obviously signed the consent to do that, and it's non-invasive, so he really... And this is very primitive research, obviously. All they could make him do was move one finger muscle to click a button. They couldn't make him do multiple things at once. But it was weird. They had an interview with the guy who was hooked up to the second interface, and he was just like, yeah, I really didn't have to think about anything. I just had to sit there, and then occasionally my finger would hit the button, and it would just happen automatically. So, yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm going to need to see a video of this shit. Holy crap.
I can try and find one. Otherwise, if you go to the World Science Festival, the rest of the panel was really interesting. They talked a lot about different neuroscience stuff, and a bunch of different bioethicists and things talking about just the various issues of doing this kind of thing. The
Were
whole
you
talk.
there?
No, they live stream a bunch of the
Oh.
talks, so I watched them on my computer because I'm a nerd.
Well, of course.
Yeah, but the whole talk was on brain-to-brain interfacing, and so that was really quite interesting.
Damn. That's some cool shit.
So yeah, that's my science stuff for the day.
Yeah.
And since you told me that Ben was just like, telepathy can never happen, it was nice to be like, no, Ben, you're wrong. Telepathy can totally happen, just not quite in the way that it's portrayed in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Not that strong.
We live for those days when we can tell Benny's wrong.
You know what? It's a lot. Mostly about his cooking, because he's so proud of that, and I just want to be like, no, dude, you're chilly as shit.
Ben likes eggs way too much too. I feel like he has some sort of obsession with eggs.
Oh, that's funny.
There's a lot of that going on.
Well, that'll wrap up science section. I think we spent some solid time there. No guest section fun facts. Sorry, no fun facts. But we can roll on to a couple drinking game rules. I wasn't really thinking too hard. My mind was a bit numb for this movie, as I've mentioned before. I was just sort of getting through it because I felt my duty as a nerd to get through this film. But we can roll out some ones. Feel free to say what you want, guys. And you gotta. My favorite times to drink are every time Charles refers to Magneto as old friend. Because I'm just like, man, that is just a stab in the fucking back, isn't it? It's just like, because there was some skit somewhere that was just like, every time he says old friend, I know that he means fuck you. And it makes me laugh every time I think about it now.
Nice. Take a drink in the scene where Xavier says, "Welcome to my house," and then the Flow Rider song plays in the background. Oh wait, that didn't happen, but it'd be funny if it did.
It definitely should have happened. Probably would have made the movie a little better.
Just one unneeded pop song. Kind of like Gone, Gone, Gone in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Right, but this time it's a pop song from 25 years later, so it makes absolutely no sense.
Yes. Should have played Hungry Like a Wolf. No, 1970s. What is the perfect song? Real quick, that would have gone. Oh, that's our Twitter challenge of the week, ladies and gentlemen. We want you. Give me a montage scene. Well, I mean, was the Eurythmics out by then? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, give me something you would have liked to have heard instead of the Eurythmics, "Sweet Dreams," when Quicksilver was saving them. But of course, it had to have come out before 1984. My addition to this is definitely "Lollipop" by the Quartets. I would have loved to have heard that song while he was saving everyone's life.
I would vote for "Whip It" by Devo.
Yes, yes. More drinking game rules.
For every epic apocalypse monologue, take a drink. Actually,
So many.
better yet, start drinking at the start of every epic apocalypse monologue. Don't stop till he finishes.
Man, do you have to drink through the entire raspy breath then too?
We're gonna go with yes because it's a drinking game and the point is to drink. So
Pace yourselves, people.
Drink responsibly as always.
don't drive afterwards.
Right. Oh man. Drink for every new character, if you can.
If you can. I mean, I got to get more creative with my knowledge of drinks, right? Because I mean, there's got to be something lightning related for you to drink with Storm, or heavenly to drink with Angel, or magnetic to drink with Magneto.
So you're just gonna line up a bunch of shots like based off these characters, and then as they pop up for the first time in the movie, just take that shot. 'Cause that sounds like a lot of fun.
Exactly. And finally, let's rock one out for that Stan Lee cameo. This is the most somber Stan Lee cameo I think we've ever had. This was one that did not involve comedy, and I can't remember the last time that happened.
Probably the old Spider-Man movies where he's like pulling people away from rubble and stuff.
Yeah, those were, yeah, you're right. Where he's like, "Look out!" in Spider-Man 2, and he just pulls a woman. He gives a talk to Peter in Times Square in Spider-Man 3 that was like supposed to be somewhat inspirational. I don't remember him in Spider-Man 1. I remember the dramatics of he was part of the jury in the trial of the Incredible Hulk from 1980s.
Ooh, timely.
They should have put a 1980s Stan Lee in this movie. Wouldn't that have been hilarious? Oh, and his wife Joan. Don't forget.
Oh, yes, his actual wife.
Yes, it's actually. I think her name is Joan. I don't remember. Any more drinking game rules, gentlemen?
That does it for me.
I'm done too.
All right, let me get a head start on editing this bitch. It's gonna wrap it up today. Super fans, Super Movie Studies is recorded and produced by Triop Cop Productions.
Be sure to check us out on iTunes and rate us, give us 5 stars, and subscribe.
And we are most active on Twitter. Friend Twitter Tom keeps things popping over there at Super Letter M Studies, Super M Studies. Let us know what your ideal 80s song for the Quicksilver scene would be.
It doesn't have to be from the 80s. Could be from the 1800s.
Okay.
Just as long as it's before the 80s.
Yes, that. Yeah.
I like how you always say it's like Tom keeps it popping. I'm just
Keeps it popping.
He's in the background, just like, yeah, I keep it popping. That's the only thing I do, just popping. I keep it real and I keep it popping.
Yes. It's the highest of compliments.
Finally, we've got TriopCop.com. This was supposed to be the first TriopCop.com exclusive first week release episode. That's not happening. That's happening in August when I actually have time to do things, because we're recording this, I don't know, 24 hours before I have to have this edited and released. So I'm not putting any extra work upon myself for the next couple of weeks until August. My schedule is so free. And we'll get ahead of things so that I can start putting up show notes. I can update the schedule because now the schedule is off. The drinking game rules will come up again with a bit more up to date. Perhaps I'll actually seek out some more scholarly works instead of my one frickin' paper. from senior year of college. And finally, if you want to get involved, get on the show, man. We want to hear from you. Email us at supermoviestudies@triopcop.com. If you want to do a full, you can even tweet us that you want to be on the show, and we'll continue a long-form discussion through email, stuff like that, because we just want to have fun with all the nerdy stuff we do. I mean, come on, let's be real. We're just enjoying our time here, aren't we? All right, that'll do it today. I'm your host, Michael Maurer.
I'm Skylar Houtsma.
And Grant Austin.
And I hope you all have a super
Week.
Yes. Sorry, I faked it. I'll be honest. Bye.
It was pretty obvious, Maurer.
Oh, fuck yourself.
Your finger kept moving. You
Yeah,
couldn't hold it perfectly still.
I shouldn't have done that. I should have just
Yeah. It was a nice try though.
He's frozen, except he's not really because he's blinking.
I know.
Oh, links. Oh no, I'm too well lit. All right, I need to stop this broadcast.